At the end of July, Moffitt Angling attended the Federation of Fly Fishers annual conclave, held this year for the first time in Loveland, Colorado. We got to talk to a lot of people, and it was great to see so much interest in the Moffitt system. Although it was fun being on the trade show floor, most of the real fun took place out on the water. We were fortunate enough to spend a good bit of time fishing the Big Thompson River at the Sylvan Dale Guest Ranch with guide Greg Sheets. Greg has been guiding on this stretch of water for 19 years and knows it better than anyone. He was tremendously helpful at getting everybody on fish. Joining us on the first day were Tim Romano from Angling Trade Magazine and Marshall Cutchin from midcurrent.com. Both are accomplished anglers and did very well using the Moffitt system for the first time. The water was definitely deeper and faster than it first appeared, and even with contact leaders, a good bit of lead was needed to get the flies down. Greg's advice to fish with bigger flies really paid off. In the afternoon, Kevin Moffitt and Greg were able to spend some time together on one of Sylvan Dale's trophy trout ponds. Conditions were tough, and Kevin didn't have the correct Moffitt system flies with him. Even so, he managed to have a couple of nice takes. Unfortunately, getting a hook into a fish was a different story. The next day we were joined on the Big Thompson by Mustad's Jeff Pierce. Jeff is a great guy and has pursued just about every species of fish imaginable. He quite literally caught a fish on his second cast using the Moffitt system. Kevin was there to assist on the release. Moving downstream a bit, Kevin was able to get into a few fish of his own. Then, Jeff hooked into an absolutely beautiful brown.
I've watched this guy come up about 8 times. I couldn't stand it anymore. Yeah.
Everything about the fish was perfect. The colors, the fins, not a scale out of place.
Beautiful Colorado fish. Back in the current over here.
The Sylvan Dale Guest Ranch is a wonderful place, and its stretch of the Big Thompson, although not huge, has an incredible variety of fishable water. In the afternoon, Kevin and Greg once again returned to the trophy trout pond, this time better equipped. The pond is fed by a number of springs which keep it relatively cool throughout the year, and the amount of food available to the fish is simply staggering. As a result, the trout are rather large, pretty spooky, and quite picky about what they want to eat and when. But once you find a fish that's actively feeding, and you can make a proper presentation to it, it's usually game on. Kevin and Greg finished out the day on a couple of really nice little bass ponds. At first, Kevin was missing a lot of fish. But by going to a larger circle hook and putting the fly closer to it, his percentage shot way up. Kevin got all his bass on Moffitt system streamers, which look absolutely fantastic underwater. On the final day of fishing, Ethan Emery from the Fly Fisher Guide Service in Denver joined us on the river. Unfortunately, I had to bug out early to get back to the trade show, so there's not a whole lot of footage of Ethan and Kevin fishing. But even so, they had a good morning on the Big Thompson. Later that evening, most of the Moffitt Angling crew got out to fish on the trophy trout pond. Conditions started out breezy, but in short order, the wind laid down to absolutely nothing. Despite less than appropriate wading gear, Dave Heap managed to get himself into a really nice rainbow. Bill Witcher helped out landing the fish, which unfortunately parted the 6X tippet at the very end of a protracted battle. Mike Moffitt was high hook for the evening with 2 fish, the last one coming to hand in the middle of a raging tempest. I had long since shut the camera down and retreated to the safety of the truck. All in all, the show went very well and was a great warm-up for the big retailers show coming up in September. The conference center in Loveland is beautiful, and the people there did an excellent job of hosting the conclave for the first time. The new booth looks really nice, and Moffitt Angling nearly sold out of sample kits. A good time was had by all, both in the booth and on the water.